بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا كما آمن الناس قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء ألا إنهم هم السفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون. And when it is said to them, believe as the people have believed, they say, should we believe as the foolish have believed? Unquestionably, it is they who are the foolish, but they know not. Surah Al Baqarah, ayah number 13. So in the previous ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rebukes their twisted ideologies, their propagandas, where they call themselves those people who are bringing reform to the society. And Allah said that no, they're not bringing reform, these are the people who are the real corruptors. So there were two traits in there. One is these munafiqun, they're calling themselves reformers, while they were the same people who were corruptors. And another one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving them the label of the real corruptors. So these two were their traits, Allah mentioned in the previous ayah. But just going back on it quickly, you see, when Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the Sahaba, when they were calling the Sahaba and Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the corruptors, was because they waged a war against the Makkans especially. So they were saying like, why you are fighting, let's come to a table of negotiation and things like that. And they were trying to propagate, the real reason behind was that these Mulvis, which were the Yahud at the time, those scholars, they wanted to have their status, they did not want to lose that, and they wanted to be put on a safe side basically. Leaving the long story to aside, but those people whom Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Sahaba were fighting, who were they? They were the same people who changed the house of Tawheed, place of Tawheed, the place which was built for Tawheed by Ibrahim alayhi salam, Kaaba, they made that place to a place of shirk. So the worst of the crimes that these people could commit. And they were the same people who kicked those Sahaba out from their own lands. They were the same people, so they were basically fighting for the place that they hijacked, the place which was built for Tawheed. They were not fighting for the land, they were fighting for justice. And they were seeing that their brothers, they were getting tortured constantly. So as we said, in Islam, in the sight of Allah, in the sight of Islam, the war or peace, this is not the real Islah, this is not the real reform, that a place is have people having nice streets, nice food and things like that. This does not mean that these people are nice or these people are mashallah guys. It is only those people who bring justice, those people who live by the haqq, those people who live by the truth. If there is no justice system, where people are oppressed, where the weak are taken their properties from, where there is racism, where the women are treated like garbage or second-class citizens, and so on. If these things are happening in society, this is not a place of reform. You do not have agreements, or you don't have treaties with these kind of people, or if they are especially torturing the people of Tawheed, the people of Islam. So you need to get up. So this is basically what's happening. Or to take one easy example, like the war that is happening, the qital. This is like the last resort. We gave this example earlier. If a body who is ill, a patient basically, who goes to hospital, and he is ill, and the last resort is that he has to go through operation, he has to be cut, and that thing needs to be removed, whatever the problem is in the body. Those people who call this, this is extremism, or why this human is being cut, why this piece, or this blood going to be shed, why is this happening? The people who are saying about this patient or this doctor being an evil person, this is going to be stupidity. This is going to be a strange thing. So same thing, Islam. What it does, it removes the filth. And the qital, where the holding on to the sword, is the last resort, where people do not come to the right terms in a nice manner. Then Islam permits the fighting, which is it has its own conditions. Okay, so this was basically that. But now, how does that apply to us? This is the reason that I wanted to bring all that. Are we mashallah guys, and we don't have anything to do? Now we need to ponder over this. And you see the current situation. We see our mulvis, we see our ulama. They are fighting over tiny little things. They're fighting over how to stand in salah. Those people who don't stand like this, their salah is not counted. Those people who do not say Ameen, or those people who do not say Fatiha, or those people who do not do this or this or this, their salah is gone, and they don't have any iman. And these we got mashallah debates happening. Yeah, we have video wars of this on YouTube and so on. So this is their main concern. Now, if you look at the other side, we see the people are getting oppressed left and right. Or forget that to a side. Let's look at our situation, the youth. What is happening to them? People are going to drugs. People are doing all sorts of filth, and they're running away from these people. So the real Islah would have been to work on your youngsters, those people who are going to take over from you. But they have been neglected, and people are fighting over tiny little things. Now, I'll give another example so we can understand, just us regular people. You see in the masajid that we have, those people who go after the masajid, if a child comes in, break the window, break the glass, it is like those people have committed a serious crime that they need to be completely removed. The masjid not allowed whatsoever. Or another easy example so we can understand. If a child or a youngster or youth comes in who has some funky hairstyle, or maybe his clothing are no as per the Sharia compliant, basically, or it doesn't look cool, it doesn't look nice, maybe they're wearing it tight and so on, everyone will be looking at the guy like, look at this guy, like some sort of shaitan has entered the masjid, yeah? Or the hostile environment that we create. Of course, we see that wrong, we see the things are wrong, but there are ways of controlling, there are ways of coming and sorting this issue out. However, what is happening outside, it is on a massive scale. So we really need to calm down when we see these little harams. These are minor harams, because this is like you stopping someone from a mosquito bite. But if you throw them out from the masjid, if you throw them out from this environment of the Muslims, or you don't want to befriend such people, then what's going to happen? You're throwing them in the mouth of a hungry lion. And this is what's happening outside. In the masajid or our Muslim gathering, they are so hostile, they are so judgmental, but outside they are all loving, and they want people to come in, and they want to, whatever ideas that they have, they're pushing through these on our youth. So we need to be really careful. Yeah, there are masajid who the only agenda is to please their elders, and they don't have anything whatsoever for the youngsters. Alhamdulillah, in this masjid, we have a situation where the focus is the youngsters. Yeah, mashallah. And we have made the masjid in this fashion that they don't even charge, yeah, like other places that I charge and so on. Of course, it does not mean that you take advantage of this. We have this electricity, we have other issues that we need to be careful. We need to, because this is our responsibility. This responsibility is not taken away from us. So we need to use our own side, we need to use our own brain, we need to help out. This is not some sort of like a charity. This is a requirement on every Muslim who is using these facilities. That doesn't drop from the sky. So we need to use our own side. However, the education has made free. So we have goodnesses, but we also need to see our negative. If you don't see our negatives, and we all, mashallah, we are this guy and that guy, this is going to be the same situation of the Yahud. Those people, those Mulvis who saw that they are, mashallah, and whatever, and they are throwing this on their youngster that we are, mashallah, and these are corruptors. So same thing with our situation. We got lots of negatives that we need to see, that these are our negatives, we need to remove them. Then we will be for people of Islah. Then we will be people of those people who bring reform. Because if you don't see our shortcomings, if you don't see our wrongs, then we have massive issues. Okay, so this was to aside. Now coming to this ayah, I think we have already taken quite a lot of time. So I'll mention a few things and you will take it in the next lesson. In this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us three of their traits. One of this trait is, they are those people who say, قَالُوا وَنُؤْمِنُ كَمَا آمَنُ السُّفَهَاء. They are taking mockery of the Sahaba. They are making fun of the pious people. So this is one of their traits. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ السُّفَهَاء. They were making mockery of the pious. Allah is saying they are the actual stupid people. They are the actual foolish people. And the last sign that is being mentioned, وَلَكِنْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ, in their jahil. They are ignorant people. So these are the three traits. Another amazing ayah that we can take from this, that you see normally, what is it in the da'wah style, is that we call amar bil ma'ruf wa nahi anil munkar. We call toward goods and we prohibit from the evil. But in here the situation has been changed. Then here is nahi anil munkar, and amr bil ma'ruf is coming later on. Yeah. So this is the style for munafiqun, those people who have filth in them, those people who have evilness in them. That needs to be removed first, then you can give them other tablets basically. So this is the style that we have been implemented. So basically what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying in here? That we need to take out. Of course, we cannot have the iman of Abu Bakr and Umar anhu, and the other Sahaba that came in time of Rasul. And of course, we're not going to be munafiqun like how Abdullah ibn Salul and they were. So what is basically asked from us in here? That what do we need to do? وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ آمِنُوا كَمَا آمَنَ النَّاسِ قَالُوا وَنُؤْمِنُ كَمَا آمَنَ السُّفَهَاءُ لَأَنَّهُمْ هُمُ السُّفَهَاءُ وَلَكِنْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. So what is being asked from us, that how to believe, is that make sure that we do not call corruption a thing which is good, or we stay silent on haram. We don't stay silent on haram. We don't stay silent on oppression. Those people who stay silent on oppression, they are part of it. And we can understand it from this global situation that is happening. But in our own gathering, for example, someone is lying, someone is cheating, someone is deceiving, someone is backbiting and slandering, you staying quiet, or you being allowed, you still sit in that gathering, you do not show any hesitation, you are part of them. You are similar in the sight of Allah as those people, because you facilitated this. You allowed this crime to happen while you were sitting there and you didn't do anything about it. So this is the same thing happening, is that you do not call corruption something which is islah, and the other one is that yukhadi'un Allah. You do not deceive in your ways. This is another one. You don't do khada', and don't lie, and not to have marad in the heart. So if you have doubts, if you have
ego, hatred and things like that, these needs to be removed. The few things that we have done so far, I'm just saying them for randomly, so it does not really make sense, but the few ayats that we have said and the illnesses that we have found out about the hypocrites, at the end of these ayats inshallah we will link when we say all of them, but these the illnesses that Allah mentioned to us so far, take them out from our lives, then we will be able to believe properly. And how do we need to believe? Is the 5 different signs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned to us at the beginning of Surah Baqarah. What were they? الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. Those are those people who believe in the ghaib, those believe in the unseen. They establish salah. They are those people who spend in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who spend in the goodness. They are those people who believe in the books and those people who believe in the akhirah. When we bring all those amazing, beautiful quality in its true essence and avoid those things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned us from the kuffar as well as the munafiqun signs, then we will be those people who believe like kama amana nas, like how they believed, like how the Sahaba believed. And one last point, this ayah the ulama uses that this is a criterion, or this is a proof for the perfection of the iman of the Sahaba. Those people who raise fingers on Sahaba, whoever they are, yeah, they calling Uthman or Ali or Umar or Abu Bakr or Aisha, they saying evil things about them, they know they are the same people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ala innahum humus sufaha. They are the foolish one. They are the people who are evil in the sight of Allah. So may Allah make us from those people who understand, who implement the Quran and the Allah.